Hello my dear friends, welcome back to our legal channel on YouTube. I am Advocate Tabassum Sheikh from Expert Jurist LLP. So my dear friends, I have already discussed with you the primary sources of Mohammedan law. Today I would be discussing with you the rest four sources of Mohammedan law, that is the secondary sources. So the first one is the custom and usage having the force of law. So before the advent of Islam, Arabs were governed by the customary laws. Now, what are the customary laws? These laws are generally applicable to the particular race, a group, or a religion. It can be defined as a pattern of social behavior which is applicable to the group of people or a bulk of people in society and is binding upon his member. So the custom in literal sense, it means the practice which has always been done and is accepted by the law. So the law related to the agricultural land, testamentary successions, or the communities other than Waqf, etc. All these come under the customary laws. To explain it in the easiest way, let's see the case of Abdul Hussain versus Sona Dero. It was a case of 1917. So in this case, the plaintiff claimed, that is Abdul Hussain, he claimed the property on the basis of custom in their family that women were denied inheritance if they were married. So the judge was convinced with the custom, and so he gave the judgment which preferred the custom of the law of inheritance. He gave the judgment because the custom was still prevalent in their family since the time immemorial. So the essentials of customs is that it must be existence. It must be in existence or prevalent in society. It should be from the time immemorial, that nobody knows since when it started. It must be territorial, that it must be applied to the people of particular territory, and it must be invariable. It means that the custom should not be changed. It should be same. It should be absolute. And the last one is that it should not be immoral. It means that it must be for the public good. So if all these constitute, then it will be considered as a custom. Now the next secondary sources of the Mohammedan law is the judicial decisions, that is the fatwa. Now the decisions passed by the Privy Council and the Indian courts like High Court and the Supreme Court, so such decisions are also considered as the source of Mohammedan law, and these laws are considered as a guiding principle or is considered as a precedent for the upcoming cases. For example, if any of the law or if any of the legal principle is set out by the High Court or the Supreme Court, then it would be considered as a source of law. Now the next is legislation. So law passed by the state legislature or the parliament in view of the prevalence of Muslims is also considered as a source of Mohammedan law. For example, like the Shariat Act in 1937, Dissolution of Muslim Marriage Act, and Muslims Validating Waqf Act 1913 and 1930. Freedom to Religion Act 1850. So all these are the instance of legislature in favor of the Muslims or specifically for Muslims. So even these are considered as a source of Mohammedan law. Now the last one is justice, equity and good conscience. So any opinion of court with regard to justice, equity and good conscience. So even this is also regarded as the source of Mohammedan law. So my dear friends, we have completed all the 8 sources of Mohammedan law. Hope so that you have understood the sources of Mohammedan law. So for more such information and legal videos, like this videos and share it, and don't forget to subscribe our channel.
Like, share and subscribe. Thank you.